Okay, we're going to talk about topic 7, which is the Renaissance. The members of our team are Arturo Flores, Gabriel González, Vania González, me, Renata Ortiz, and Joan Seña.
Hi, my name is Vania, and I'm going to talk about the Renaissance. The Renaissance was a fervent period of the European cultural, artistic, political, and economic rebirth, following the Middle Ages. The Renaissance happened during 3 different periods. The first one, the so-called Quattrocento, 400. The second one, the High Renaissance. And the third one, the last period, was the late Renaissance.
Okay, I'm Joan, and I'm going to talk about anthropocentrism first. In this period, the principal characteristic is that the important figure in this period is the man, the human being. It is the beginning of humanism, which is the term generally applied to the predominant social philosophy and intellectual and literary. The philosophy of secularism, the appreciation of worldly pleasures, and above all, intensified the assertion of personal independence and individual expression. Next, individualism. This is a characteristic that goes hand in hand with anthropocentrism. Artists became proud of their own work and style, even if patrons commissioned many works. People should live and create their own way of living, being proud of what they do, and not getting worried about the influence of the church. Next, naturalism. In this period, new techniques arrived in order to recreate the world, a world that translates the perception of reality into art. Elements like fumato and chiaroscuro appeared. After some years during the Romanticism, landscapes and nature are going to be important themes. And finally, perspective. Artworks in the Renaissance started to add some perspective, a three-dimensional look that made the viewer feeling like looking through a window. This is one of the most prolific and important periods in art history. Many of the most influential artists appeared. This topic covers only general characteristics in architecture, painting, and sculpture, as well as some examples.
Then I'm going to talk about architecture, and well, one of the most important characteristics in the Renaissance architecture was the simplicity and the purity in proportions. In the Renaissance architecture, the geometry is simple. Dimensions aren't a reflection of God, but have an order that reflects the human intellect that controls its environment through mathematics and proportion. Another of the preoccupation of the architecture in the Renaissance was how to build churches, and they believed that the circle was the perfect form, so they searched the way to incorporate it in the architecture. So it was because of the statements of Plato that considered the circle to be the perfect geometric form, and one of the principal architects that followed those principles was Donato Bramante, and well, it's all.
In the Renaissance, the paintings also had some basic characteristics, which is that they started to use new techniques and materials, like tempera, which was a paint made of dry pigments of colors, and that were that were mixed with a binding material. Also, the themes of the paintings changed a little. It was more focused on the life of Jesus, mythological themes, and portraits of the Medici family. And also it took like a lot more realism, I think, They implemented the perspective and the vanishing point, which is a point in a painting in which all the lines intersect. Also, two of the most outstanding works were The Last Supper by Da Vinci and The Ceiling of the Sixtine Chapel by Michelangelo.
During the Renaissance, the sculpture had different characteristics like the following: the application of different materials like bronze and marble. Also, in these sculptures, they explained various themes as we are going to see. They were created in an allegorical way. One of the most important sculptors of this time was Donatello, who created David. The David was an important symbol for the Florentine Republic because it represents the resistance against tyranny. Also, Donatello created the Gattamelata, which was an important sculpture near from the Church of San Antonio, which represents the mercenary with power, confidence, and a sense of invincibility. As we can see, the sculpture during this period was very important because it represents some themes and it creates like an important sense of representative for the population.
Well, that was all about the Renaissance. Thank you for listening. Bye.